got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle, so you can feel better, faster.
From Farmingdale State College, championship Saturday here in Nassau County. And it will pit the top seeded Floral Park, the defending Friends Academy here in the Nassau Class A final. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Donahue. We want to, of course, thank our sponsors for this game, Orlin and Cohen Orthopedic Group, as well as Lifestyle Sports. So, Brian, terrific matchup here of two teams, kind of a contrast in style, but that usually makes great fights when we expect this one to be an entertaining final.
Right, it's the grit and the toughness and the tenacity of Floral Park against the technical brilliance of Friends Academy, and we're in for a great game here tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, I agree. There's a good look at the boys from Floral Park, and as we look at how we got here, Brian, and a couple of 1-0, some tight games, of course, right, with Friends beating Locust Valley, and they've been on a little bit of an upset tour here where they beat North Shore in overtime. They beat Locust Valley here, and then you see another classic Lawrence Floral Park matchup here at Farmingdale State, another 1-0 win for Floral Park.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of an us against them mentality from the Quakers going through this postseason.
And we'll show you how these two teams got there and get some highlights from those semi-final games. And here it is. Opportunistic goal, right, for Friends Academy. Just kind of getting behind the defense. And here's how Floral Park won it. Amirati. Would it be a goal? We don't know. But Charlie McCarron makes sure to clean things up back post. And that's how these two teams booked their spot here in the Nassau Class A final. We take a look now at the tail of the tape of these two teams, Brian.
You know, Friends Academy coming in as a 4 seed, but, you know, don't let that 4 seed deceive you, people watching at home. They won their conference in the regular season, not just winning their conference. They rolled through Conference AB3. Floral Park, 2 seed, co-conference champs. They have the crown right now. The Knights have the crown as the defending county and state champs. You know, you see the goals, 4 goals against. They're pretty evenly matched. You know, the Nassau titles is the one thing that is the mismatch there. But that's ancient history. We're going to find out today who's going to keep that title.
And it's Floral Park, of course, with having won it last year as well. And first we take a look at Friends Academy coming in at 11-4-1, Brian. And a very technical team. They like to play the ball on the ground. And they've got some special players as well that can help them lead them to a county title.
Yeah, Mercer Manu is the man in the back line. He holds things down. He shuts teams down all season long. And the man up top, Jack Steinberg, game winner in the last game. You know, this is one of these games where we're going to see if these stars can rise to the top today.
We'll take a look at the impact players, the starters for both of these teams when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years.
Welcome back to Farmingdale State College. Dylan Butler, Brian Donahue. There's a look at the defending county and state champions and a guy who will help or will be integral, I should say, as I get my words here, to another county title. It's Sam Amirati and Danny Marrero.
Sam Amirati was integral in that postseason run last season. It was a joy watching him on that field, and, you know, he's going to be holding it down for them in the middle of the field. Going to have his hands full with Dylan Leon from Friends Academy, and I'm going to be looking to see Danny Marrero making those runs up the right-hand side of that field today and putting in some work.
Let's take a look at the starters. First for Friends Academy. And the Quakers come out in a 4-5-1 formation. From left to right in the back, you've got Zuniga, Manu, Jovis, and Price. In the midfield, Hernandez, Almaderis Montes, and the aforementioned Leon. Then you've got Martinez Sierra, Demacia, and Steinberg up front. And in goal for the first half, at least for Friends Academy, it's Jack Burns. The senior will split time this afternoon with Ryder Marcus, who will be in goal in the second half for Floral Park. In their goal, it'll be Zach Sarcona. They will be in a 4-5-1 formation as well. Doshi Lally, McCarran, Marrero, your back four. You've got Black, Kroon, Amirati in the middle of the field. Donovan, Cherry, and O'Shea up front. Now, Brian, our keys to this game.
Number one, Friends Academy needs to have Dylan Leon take over this game. He is one of the most impactful and dynamic players in the county. Number two, they need another big game from the center backs. Floral Park loves to play that ball up the middle. They need to hold that the middle of the field down. Number three, Steinberg needs to be clinical in front of the goal. Can't win if you don't score. For Floral Park, they need to take their chances. Talking to Coach Keel Rodney before the game, he said they need to put the ball in the back of the net. Two, stay disciplined defensively. Floral Park is a team that can score in bunches. They need to stay disciplined. And number three, impose their will on the game. They've been there. They know what it takes to win. They need to lay it down and do what they have to do.
Yeah, and Brian, when we talk about Floral Park, they're a team that, listen, the words grit and blue collar and athleticism, they all come front of mind, but they're a team as well. They can play. I think, too much is thought about with athleticism, and you think, oh, they're just the kick and run team. No, they can put the ball down. They combine really well. We saw that in their semifinal win against Lawrence.
Yeah, and you're right, Dylan. While they are tenacious and gritty and all that stuff, they can use the space on the field very well. They know where to be. They know how to move, and it's really a thing of beauty to watch when everything's clicking together.
So we are off here in the Nassau Class A final. Our officials for today's game, Matt Sether is in the middle. Dave Poley and Eric Smith are your two ARs, and Steve Hansman is your fourth official. We mentioned before Floral Park, the number 2 seed, 14-1-3. They're looking to go back-to-back as county champions and Friends Academy. They're looking to win their 11th title, but it's their first appearance since they last won, which was the C championship back in 2013. So Edgar Posada, their head coach, said this is very much uncharted territory here in the A's.
I watched a few days ago, Friends Academy Athletics put out a video of Posadas getting his team hyped up, and I told him before the game, I wanted to run through a wall watching this video. These kids are ready, and they are fired up and ready to go, despite somewhat of an interrupted week of practice.
Corner for Floral Park, and it was this same, listen, this is rinse and repeat almost. Sam Amirati from this corner found Charlie McCarran at the back stick, and that was the only goal that Floral Park scored in that semifinal win against Lawrence. Let's see if he could do the same. Amirati, again, goes back post. Did not miss by much, man. He had Brady Kroon attacking there.
And I kind of like that work that McCarran was putting in. He was just doing a little a carousel move around that keeper there, just trying to make him uncomfortable, disrupting his rhythm. I like the little head game, little gamesmanship right in the beginning here from Coach Rodney.
And as we said, unique kind of setup, especially this time of year, for Friends, where they kind of go with the 1-2 punch at keeper. They start this game with Jack Burns, and they kind of have what I referred to as kind of the Mariano Rivera part, where Ryder Marcus steps in for the second half.
When you can have, it's hard enough finding one good keeper that you can be comfortable and rely on in a game. To have two is just, is a luxury beyond a luxury.
Throw in for Friends. That's Zuniga, the junior. Posada referenced him as one of the pieces we were missing last year. And this is what we said. This is why they can play Floral Park. You can see tight spaces, but the interception as Cherry was dispossessed, at least momentarily. That was James Black in the midfield. Now Kroon looks to switch fields. Trying to find Joseph Donovan.
Well, when you have a coach who was an All-American in high school, who was on the cover of ESPN, the magazine, and on the U.S. men's national team, this is the kind of thing he can bring to practice, right?
Yeah, that is Akil Rodney. And had it not been for a pretty serious back injury. You know, who knows how long his career and it likely would have continued on in Major League Soccer or elsewhere. 2009 graduate of Elmont, Akil, one of the bright young coaches here in Nassau County, his 6th season as the head coach. On the opposite side, Edgar Posada, the Great Neck North 1988 graduate. He is in his 7th season at the helm. And there's Cherry, and right away, double team, dispossessed, but second ball won. A little flicked header by Amarati. Now a battle in the midfield. That one, advantage Aiden Jovis, and really a terrific tandem at center back between Jovis and Manu. Manu, that big guy to win all those balls, and he wears his emotions on his sleeves, Brian. And then Jovis is just that, you know, cool as a cucumber, that guy who sometimes if you don't know him, as that ball served in, grabbed well by Burns, you're like, are you even trying, or what's up? You know, like, but he's not. He's just that cool customer.
Absolutely, and for Manu, he has this like real killer mentality, right? He just wants to dominate these games, and he did it to me twice in the regular season. But then after the game, he's the most polite and well-spoken young man. He shakes your hand, good game, coach, see you next time, and it was like a genuine feeling out of him. So he really has this switch where he's like, he has this great mentality on the field, incredible mentality off the field, kind of kid you really want to root for.
And Brian, the head coach at Oyster Bay, as there's a touch for Leon. Leon was kind of put on a shelf a little bit this week at practice, and the rare kind of week between games, or actually 6 days because they played Sunday, really beneficial for Leon. Has played a lot of soccer, has logged a lot of miles in those legs, so he was rested up and definitely ready to go, Posada said.
He might be one of the most technically gifted players I've watched in the county over the last few years. And whenever we play them, I tell my team, you guys need to remember, he was the captain, he might still be the captain of the U.S. national futsal team. And he was the MVP and won the U.S. under-17 futsal tournament last year in Thailand. So he knows how to play with the ball on his foot, and you're going to see that here today.
Offside flag raised immediately, so a chance here for Friends Academy. And we spoke with Edgar Posada. Leading up to that, as you see the last 3 years for Friends Academy. Good bounce back last year to make the quarterfinals, and now, you know, with this group, and we mentioned the missing pieces, they have made their way back to a county final. Free kick for Floral Park. It's interesting too, Brian, as little shoulder barge, ball deflected out. We'll have another corner for Floral Park. Both of these teams saw mirror images of the other in earlier rounds, right? Where Floral Park, as the decision was changed now to a goal kick, Floral Park saw a highly technical team in the semifinals, right, beating Lawrence 1-0, and you could argue that North Shore plays a similar style to Floral Park. So even though, you know, these two teams met early in October, some of the personnel on the field now weren't on the field then, but they both come in with some confidence knowing that they defeated a similar style team earlier.
And you could even argue, too, Dylan, despite their...
Look at that. Chance from distance, and it just stings wide.
Despite their differing styles, they match up very well, right? They have two very strong midfields, two great center back pairings. Outside backers can move up the field with really well. They both find space well. So while their styles of play are different, they do match up very well.
And Friends just looking to play it to grounds. Manu comes this way. Finds Zuniga. A touch there by Leon, and that's one of the matchups that we're liking to see here. James Black, the CDM against Leon. Now a race for this ball and just trying to shepherd it out. Declan Lally, and we talked about the center back pairing for Friends, but what a great pairing as well for Floral Park with Lally and McCarron, a pair of seniors, 2-year captains, 2-year stars, excuse me. You always want to be strong, certainly in the center of your park and the center of your defense, and that's certainly true for Floral Park.
And having a great center back pairing like that in Lally and McCarron, it allows your outside backs, your right and left back, in this case, Marrero and Dashi, it allows them to push higher up the field. When you have guys that are that strong on the ball, that are that confident, it allows you to do so much more on the field.
Good read by Burns to race in there and grab that ball. Early moments here. It's the Nassau Class A final. So glad you're able to watch it here with us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And there's McCarron, just seems to win everything. Every ball in the air, every 50-50 challenge, handball against Friends. So a free kick for Floral Park. So free kick for Floral Park.
And this can be a dangerous area too. The wind is, I don't know how much you can tell watching at home. The wind is playing tricks down on that field. It can gust. It settles and then gusts.
Amirati plays it on the ground. Dangerous ball across. Did it stay in? It did. And there is Burns to corral.
Smart play out of Floral Park to keep the ball on the ground, and a great play out of Jackie Burns. That's one of those nerve-wracking plays where the ball's pinging around. Good job of just falling on it.
Marrero puts it back into the mix. Ball high in the air. Cherry, a guy who could just run for days for Floral Park, wins that challenge. Amirati plays it back to him, and there's Cherry again. Started the year as a center forward, but now out on the wing with the return from injury for David O'Shea.
And I can imagine at home today before the game talking to his brother Michael, who won a state title last year. Damien was up here on that team. They were having a conversation about, keep that title on the Floral Park side, and I'm sure his brother was helping getting him amped up for this game.
Yeah, keep it in the family, right? And
Absolutely.
there's a lot of family aspects to this Floral Park team as well. The Donovan boys as well. Throw in for Friends. Opening 10 minutes, scoreless thus far. This is the first of 2 games we have for you today. The final 2 championship or county championship encounters. What a great one we have coming up. It's the Double A final as a foul called in midfield, pitting Garden City and Calhoun.
I'm looking forward to that game, and if I can probably show my bias, I'm wearing my Belmore Merrick lacrosse shirt to be ready for that game later.
I forgot to give you the memo. No cheering in the press box. Well, then you'll be on the field, so maybe you have more room there to cheer.
I missed that day in my journalism class about journalistic integrity.
So it looked like for a second maybe Friends was looking to play the offside trap, and Manu dropped back, and he's the one who won that ball as McCarron puts it back into the mix. Here's Leon. Good turn. Cherry comes to help. Leon plays the feet to his right, and then cutting back in was Martinez Sierra. But here comes Floral Park. And they're a team, too. They'll try to activate those forwards right away. They'll win a ball in the midfield. They'll play it forward really quickly. Good step by McCarron.
No, and Dylan, we talk about the different permutations of this and the different layers of how you prepare for a game. I don't think, and I'm surprised we waited this long to talk about it. I'm surprised we waited this long to talk about the fact that they've met each other this season. Even though they play in different conferences, we really don't have interleague play. But in a non-league meeting, not that long ago, well, a month, but not that long in soccer life, they played each other, and Floral Park beat them 5-0.
Burns a little late to it. Second ball, another opportunity. A scramble in the box. Still loose. And cleared. Not out though, Marrero. Heavy first touch as the ball comes to this side. Nervy moments. Slide tackle, but a foul called as a dangerous set piece now, Brian, for Floral Park.
That is a total defensive effort there from Friends Academy. Everybody swarm the ball, get that ball out as fast as you can. But if I'm Friends Academy, I'm a little nervous because to me, that ball didn't get out fast enough.
It is Amirati here to put the ball back into play. He's got a lot of options, all lined up at the edge of the 18 right now. Serves it, back stick. Knocked away and cleared by Friends. That was Martinez Sierra who got a piece of that ball. But yes, to your point earlier, they met early October. Floral Park, a 5-0 win. Sam Amirati, a goal and 3 assists. Joe Donovan with a brace. James Black, David O'Shea, a goal apiece as well. Sarcona, 6 saves. Now, even Akil Rodney, though, was like, okay, yes, that was a nice win, but we don't really take a lot from it because you look around the park, he's like, this player wasn't there, that player wasn't there, this guy wasn't there. So, not sure how much it plays into it, but certainly some nervy moments early on for Friends.
Yeah, and if, I know we don't get points or goals or anything for time of possession, but clearly this is right now, Floral Park is dominating time of possession here. And Friends Academy has got to do something here to get the ball in the other half of the field and keep it there.
And to your point there, they're not a direct team. So they want to try to build out. And that's, again, the chess match that this game is. Floral Park not allowing them to do so by keeping them on their back foot. Now you have a chance to maybe move up with a throw-in.
Right, and that's part of the danger of playing a solo striker. It's far often too easy just to play the ball up to him and let him work, but when the striker is playing 1-on-4, it's hard to get opportunities.
Sarcona has not had a lot to do. Does well to grab that ball. And even Posada will say to us, and he did tell us, Steinberg really isn't even a true number 9. We don't have one out on the field. He plays more of like a false 9, or some McCarron sends it back over. So when you rely so much on your midfield, right, you need those numbers up. Foul called against Floral Park.
But what's really surprising to me about this Friends team is I know them fairly well, played them a few times this season, watched them a lot in the postseason. They've kind of gotten away from the game that's gotten them there, right? Their game all season has been take the ball down the wings, go baseline, dribble in, and then pass to the top of the box. I haven't seen that yet. That's what made them successful. That's the team.
As Manu's free kick blocked by Kroon.
And that's the team that scored 41 goals in regular season. I want to see them start to bring this here against this this Floral Park team, especially when Floral Park is pushing their left and right back high.
A wide field here at Farmingdale State College, an opportunity maybe for Friends to use that width here. But it will go out of touch, and it will be a Floral Park throw.
And I think it's worth mentioning, too, that this field is much bigger than the Friends Academy field.
You hear the cheer now, Brian. That's because the mighty Quinn has just checked in, a cult hero for Floral Park, Liam Quinn. Akil Rodney said he will be one of the first off the bench. Was excellent in that semifinal. Turn in the box. And Leon with the emergency defending, sending it out into his own bench.
I love Liam Quinn's game. You see him in there. He just checked in, and he looks like a little 8th grader or a freshman, but he can dominate on the ball. He's very technically skilled, gifted player. Love his game.
Good look there at Jack Burns, the senior. Terrific shot blocker for Friends. Lays it off to Jovis for this restart. Driven into the midfield, gets it right to Leon. And this is what you said. Now he's trying to go up the wing, but he overhit that one a little bit, and it'll be a Floral Park throw.
Right, and you know, we said in the open too that Leon is a guy that has these tired legs, right? And when we kind of like try and profile players, he has a Messi-like build, right? He's a little on the shorter side, built though, and he's very casual on the field, and then he can explode. Takes very short steps. He plays a lot of soccer, and this time of year, it's got to be restful. So he's got to make the most of the runs that he makes, and they have to find him in really good spaces.
Ball crossed in. Martinez Sierra will run onto this one in the box. Tries to shed his defender. That's really good defending. It's laid back to Almendares Montes on the ball now. Manu. A miss hit. And as you were pointing out, yes, we're not keeping possession stats, but that was the longest stretch, certainly, of consecutive touches on the ball for Friends in this first half.
Right, and I think they're starting to feel it. I think I see our friend Lady Momentum on the other side of the field starting to shift, right? That little back pass and that little combo play that Friends did on that far side of the field, it looks like they're starting to get into it a little bit more now. That's the kind of soccer that they're used to playing. See a little more of that, and now they're going to start opening the game up a little bit more.
And lo and behold, too, it comes midway through the half as well. So they absorbed a lot of pressure in the first 20 minutes. They didn't concede, and now they kind of are playing themselves into this game. But they still have defending to do. Getting the ball stuck in his feet there, it looked like a moment for Zuniga. Here's Marrero. And no problem here for Burns. Crowd still filing in here for this Class A final. And Friends, I didn't see it here today, but they had a great tailgate going on, and we've gotten the invite. I know Rob Anderson, who's usually next to me here, was lamenting maybe not getting there, and we were told before the game, you guys are invited.
Well, the Friends Fries tent certainly was up long past their win last week. I think maybe we'll go swing by after this game and see if we can get there. Nice run.
Yeah, dangerous ball over the top. And that last pass was lacking as Lally came in with the clearance.
And that's exactly the type of soccer I want to see more out of Friends Academy, right? Bring that ball down, and you saw him turn and push that ball up to the top of the 18 for that delayed run in the shot. That is what they did all season long that made them successful. Now we're starting to see Friends Academy soccer.
Nice attack into the box. It was Leon. Now along the end line. Nice dribbling. Again, that cross lacking. And the thing, too, about Floral Park is you've got to be really wary, especially when you push numbers up, on how dangerous they are on the counter.
Right, and it looked like he had Carlos Hernandez just sitting there camped out on the top of the 18. He's waiting for that ball. He's going to get that service. They need to think about making that rotation. And I spoke to Coach Rodney before the game, and I said, Coach, what are you going to do about this dangerous midfield? You going to man mark them? How are we going to play that? And he said, we're not going to man mark. We're just going to make our presence known. We're going to play near them.
Chasing after it there was O'Shea, and it goes out for a goal kick now for Friends.
But you know what Robert Burns once said. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, Mr. Butler. So they might have to be doing a little switcheroony here at halftime, make a couple of adjustments, especially as this midfield. You see this midfield trio, they're starting to heat up a little bit. Leon's starting to get more involved in this game, right? Hernandez is starting to get more involved in this game.
And to your point, that's another great matchup in this game, right? Is the combating midfield threes, especially when you're playing a same formation. You've got Black, Kroon, and Amarati for Floral Park. On the other side, Hernandez, Almendares, Montes, and Leon. Good step by Kroon, but the throw will go the other way. Floral Park just the one loss on the year, 14-1-3. And that defeat came super early. That was the second game of the year, a loss to Southside 1-0. And again, you see just looking to try to make sure that ball goes out. Aiden Jovis, 2-year captain for this Friends team. Plays it into space in the midfield. There's Leon. And another throw for Friends. A little bit too much space for Zuniga, so he's asked to take a few steps backwards. A year ago, this Friends team didn't really have a left back, and Zuniga won that job this year. Throw in now for Friends. And again, it's Zuniga. Finds the feet of Leon. Can he turn? Nice step for the double. And it goes out for another throw.
Right, so now this is where Leon needs to put his high soccer IQ to work, right? If they're going to be doubling him on those throws, he's got to swing that ball out and find somebody's feet.
Here's Amirati with a step on Manu. Plays it across. Second ball. Fire! What a goal! It's the mighty Quinn himself. What a strike by Liam Quinn. 1-0 Floral Park.
We talked about before the game how they can move into space, and it's a great off-the-ball run from Liam Quinn, right? Finding the back post, getting himself involved, delayed run. Oh, what a rocket of a shot. And what a great effort out of Amirati just to cover the space and just not give up on that ball. And I'm checking my notes here, Dylan, on Floral Park, and what does it say right here on Liam Quinn? I think he's going to score a goal that's going to help us.
That was the words of Akil Rodney. And Quinn, his second goal of the year. Holy smoke, what a strike. I mean, first time. And now we said he was a cult hero. That legend grows a little bit more for the sophomore.
He's going to be signing some autographs on Monday when he walks through the halls of Floral Park Memorial, I'll tell you that.
The jersey sales of number 5 might go through the roof. So now can Friends get one back? 1-0 was the score du jour in the semifinals. Both of these teams won by that. Nice turn into space. An ambitious effort, though, goes wide by Martinez Sierra. As we take a look at the last 3 years for Floral Park, and of course last year, what a year it was. You see those deep runs and getting deeper and deeper. That's what you love too. Just building and building, and then you go and win not just the county or Long Island, you win a state championship last year.
Yeah, and Coach Akil Rodney, we kind of talk about this in our coaching circles about how he's building a dynasty and he's building an incredible program here in Floral Park, and I think you're seeing that out here today.
Yeah, the buy-in is from the community, and they do love their soccer in Floral Park. Battle for the ball now. And a foul is called. And a dangerous set piece, Brian, for Floral Park. So we would again expect Amirati, or actually it's Quinn, who's running over for the ball.
Absolutely, let him take it. He's feeling hot. He's feeling it right now. Let him. He's going to put. I would tell him just put it right on goal.
Let's see. That's a good look at Liam Quinn. Quinn serves it in, looking for Kroon, headed out and cleared. Black in the midfield to Quinn, hammered from behind, and a foul was given. And everything he does, you can hear the Floral Park faithful. They love Liam Quinn.
Yeah, and Floral Park is sitting right underneath our broadcast location. You know, it's a little tough to differentiate. You know,
Yeah, a
both
lot of
teams are
red.
red and black. But you know, we see all these knights on the back of the jackets here, and parents high-fiving every time he touches it. And
McCarron plays it on the ground and out.
it looks like I spotted Liam's mom right in front of us. There's a Quinn on the back of the sweatshirt, so we'll keep an eye on her as this game goes on.
Reminder, too, coming up next, Calhoun and Garden City. Speaking to a lot of you coaches and a lot of people in Nassau County circles, they circled this one as the game of these 4 finals, and that should be outstanding stuff. That'll be after this one here tonight on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Well, my brackets were busted very early in the playoffs, but I had that as my finals since August. So I'm feeling a little bit vindicated that that was going on, and I've been looking forward to that game for quite a while.
Ball up in the air. Martinez Sierra battles for it. No one there for the second ball, though. Put back into the mix. Nobody there to pick up that ball played in by Zuniga, so no problem for Sarcona. A guy who last year backed up Oscar Dalton a year ago. A guy who plays for Hoda. We'll see a lot of Hoda representation in the next game as well.
But I believe it's Dalton, Oscar Dalton, special agent.
You had me worried. I was like, did I not say the right name?
That was one of our running jokes last year, that he sounded like one of the guys who played James Bond.
Okay.
So he's Dalton, Oscar Dalton. So now this is where we want to see Friends Academy settle in. You know, enough time has passed since the goal, right? Just go back to what you have to do. Your goal will come if you just stay focused on your game plan, right? Don't let that rattle you, right? Don't get away from who you are.
And unfortunately for the Quakers, it came at a time in the game when they were feeling themselves and they had some confidence and they were playing their best soccer of the first half.
And that's something that is really remarkable about this Floral Park team, is their quick strike capabilities is so good.
Ball sent out toward midfield. And now they will attack from the width of the field. Nice cross in, settled. But there's again that center back tandem of Floral Park, always right there. O'Shea checked back, had the layoff, and now Floral Park will play a little bit. Clipped forward, forcing Burns off his line, and he will corral. .50-50 challenge, and a free kick won by Friends.
I spoke to Coach Rodney a few days ago, and one of the things he said that's remarkable about his team is that they prepare very well. They're very disciplined, and every single kid on this team has this understanding that they need everyone involved to win, right? And that's really remarkable. Sometimes as coaches, we sit here on these teams and we have these kids on the end of the bench who look at you with these doe eyes, thinking, Coach, when are you going to put me in? And sometimes the unfortunate reality is, in a playoff game like this, the answer is never. But everyone has a role to play in the preparation leading to these games. And when these Floral Park kids, according to Coach Rodney, they have that understanding that everyone has a role to play, it's all hands on deck time. And it shows.
Quakers free kick. They had that spell of possession, but really nothing yet dangerous, nothing yet to really for Sarcona to be too concerned about. Here's Cherry. Plays it forward, trying to find Amirati's feet. Look at O'Leary, too. Or excuse me, O'Shea with the effort. And that's the thing that you're going to get from these Floral Park players at all times, right, Brian? The effort, and we mentioned the grit in the open, but also that means even for forwards, right? Like your main job is what, right? To put the ball in the net, but they are tracking back, and they're like really trying to win that ball back.
Yeah, and to your point, it's half of it's putting the ball in the back of the net. The other half of it is you have to wear down these center backs. You have to be shifting them. You have to be making the move, and you can't let them get too comfortable or settled back there. The more you can disrupt them, the better off you're gonna be.
Here's Marrero, one of our players to watch for this game. Danny, a year ago, was one of the first off the bench, like Liam Quinn is this year. And now he's got himself wearing, as a junior, the captain's armbands. Another hard-working, tough player for Floral Park. Good look there at Luka Zuniga. Ammirati wins it. Nice turn into space for Steinberg.
That was a great turn.
Steinberg in the box. Finds Leon Marrero with the block in front. Zuniga keeps it alive for Friends. You would argue that was their best looking opportunity yet.
It was, and there's some where you probably work on some communication. Again, Friends is, they're camping somebody out up there on the top of the 18, and if they just call for a dummy ball, Leon lets that ball run a little bit. They've got a wide open shot at the top of the 18. I understand why he took the shot. I would too.
And it was Steinberg, we showed you in the open, who scored a really opportunistic goal, right? It came off of a ball won by Locust Valley on a slide tackle, but the slide tackle, the direction was towards his own goal, and then Steinberg just pounced on it with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. And that was the lone goal in that one. Dangerous throw. Cherry tries to chase the loose ball. Clipped back in by Marrero. A really good-looking ball. What a save by Burns! And then he collects the rebounds.
Jackie Burns, great save there. Good hands out of the keeper. Good focus staying with that ball. Push the team up front, and let's get off to the races and try and catch him on a transition.
It was Kroon with the headed attempt. There's Leon again trying to connect with Steinberg. Here's Ammirati. Sam I am. Splits defenders. That's an important defensive play by Friends because that ball was getting through. Ammirati chested down. Nice step by Black. And Matt Sether says foul against Floral Park. Final 4 minutes of the first half. A golazo by Liam Quinn, the difference right now in this Class A final. There is Steinberg. What a ball. Steinberg on target. And there is Sarcona denying Martinez Sierra.
Huge save out of Zachary Sarcona, right? That's that kind of confidence-building save he needs, especially when you're not doing a whole lot back there, right? Staying focused on that ball is great. But for Friends Academy, that's what you want. That's the kind of possession that you want to have.
Ball played over the top. O'Shea chases into it. Knocks into a defender as Burns corrals. I think the only thing for Martinez Sierra there is you want to
hit the corners.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of put it right into Sarcona's breadbasket there. Good service. Cherry trying to run onto it. Somehow keeps it in. What an effort by Cherry. And now Marrero gets the loose ball. Nice turn by Ammirati. Goes to the corner. Serves it. What a ball in front Turning was Donovan. And we will have a goal kick for Friends.
That's a possession right there where if I'm coach at halftime for Friends Academy, I say, listen, this is where we need to clean things up, right? You have open space right there. You have to find speed. You have to find feet. We can't be too quick on the ball.
Steinberg turns, and one of Posada's keys. Yeah, listen, Steinberg scored the goal in that opening game, but wants him to be more clinical. Thought he had a few more chances in that game against Locust Valley to score. Final 2 minutes here of the first half. Here is Manu. Looks for options. Knocks it into Lally. McCarron. Again, he cleans up everything. Steinberg. Battles with Donovan.
And this is a situation on these little throw-ins deep in their final third. They have some nice, dangerous combos that they can pull off.
Leon. You see how quickly he is surrounded and dispossessed. Manu sends it over the top, trying to find Steinberg, unable to run onto it. Final minute of the first half. There's Donovan, dispossessed. Looking for Martinez Sierra. This one will go out for a corner. Now, can Friends scamper up quickly enough to take this one?
Yeah, I put everybody up. I would just leave Manu back by himself.
Well, he's actually one of those up.
I can't see that far. Then leave Jovis back. Put them all in.
They play it to feet.
That was great defensive effort right there from Floral Park.
Manu stays up in the mix. Steinberg's feet dispossessed. Here comes Cherry. Good defending by Friends. Final 8 seconds. Jovis sends it high into the air. And Marrero just boots it back out to midfield as we are at the half. So Floral Park, the defending county champions, they will take a 1-0 lead into the half thanks to that man. Liam Quinn, another look at how he got this goal. Golazo, the mighty Quinn has struck. And his fan base loving every minute of it. 1-0 for Floral Park.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Levitz, and I'm the Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Orlin and Cohen Orthopedics and the Head of Sports Medicine at Northwell Health. With the playoffs coming around, this is the prime time of year for significant shoulder injuries. And the most common injury that we see in soccer players is subluxation of the shoulders. They take a hit or they fall on their shoulder and their shoulder slides out of the socket. And for most of us, we don't think that's a big deal because it just feels like a little nothing when it happens. You feel good afterwards and you're right back out there. But often when that happens, you can tear your labrum. And those are the ligaments that stabilize the shoulder. And with repetitive subluxations or dislocations or repetitive trauma to the shoulder, it can lead to surgery. So it's very important to address this when it happens and make sure you're not going right back out there before understanding the injury, because it can feel okay, obviously, until you get hit there again, until it falls again, and then you start doing permanent damage. It's very rare an initial injury does permanent damage. It's only when you continue to play through it and neglect it that the permanent damage occurs, and that almost always leads to surgical intervention to repair the ligaments. The best way to diagnose it or know is your history itself. Most athletes know when their shoulder slid and they just don't know what that was. They don't know what happened or what it was, but that is a strong situation to make sure you bring to the attention of your athletic trainer and definitely get checked out by an orthopedic surgeon. Unlike when I was a kid, we have MRIs readily available, and the best way to determine if you can play the next day or right away is to get an MRI right away. It's very easy for a doctor to say, take 4 weeks off and let's see how you do and get you back out there. The problem is that's half the season in high school. So we treat our high school athletes like professional athletes and try to get an MRI within 24 to 48 hours of their injury. So if it's nothing significant, they can get into therapy and be back playing by the weekend. We take pride in getting our athletes back as soon as it's possible and when it's safe as possible. And the best way to do that is with early intervention, early examination by a physician, athletic training team, and getting an MRI as soon as possible to ascertain the exact diagnosis. Unfortunately, with repetitive dislocations, it does require surgery. Fortunately, most of the time athletes can finish the year out, but we don't want this to become a lifelong problem and highly recommend surgery after the seasons. But in today's technology, it's all done through the camera, and I'd say 98% of our patients are back at the same level they were before in a few short months back to playing. The only thing that might be a little bit difficult would be a throw-in in the first couple of months, but generally soccer as a whole is well tolerated and a quick recovery. The only problem is when we neglect these injuries, small, simple injuries that could have been handled with a good rehab program and physical therapy turn into surgical problems and permanent damage to the ligaments and bones that now require more extensive surgeries. And that's what we want to do with early intervention, is avoid those issues.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us.
Really, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to. Obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions. You feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
And back here for the start of the second half. Dylan Butler, Brian Donahue, our entire Varsity Media crew here. And it's always interesting. Like you coach, I don't. I'm up here, I commentate, but I'm always interested to see the adjustments at halftime and how quickly we see one of those adjustments. You've been on both sides of this. You know, what do you think we're going to see here from these two teams?
For Friends Academy, it has to be open up the wings and get back to what made them successful all season long. And if you go back and watch that first half, when they did play their game, they were fairly successful. They had a couple of really nice looks at goal. For Floral Park, it's more of the same, right? They don't really need to change a whole lot. It's if I'm Akil Rodney, I'm sitting in my huddle and I say, hey, guys, what are they going to now start to throw at us? What adjustments are they going to make that we now have to shut down? And they're going to try and go back to their game.
Liam Quinn, that unbelievable goal. The difference right now between these two sides. And there again, we see that combination. Second ball comes in right away. Sarcona, terrific save. Here is Steinberg now trying to get to the corner flag. Terrific defending by Dashi. Not cleared. But we've seen, Brian, as now Kroon intercepts that combination. Leon always seemingly trying to find Steinberg, right? But then you were saying, where's that next ball? Who's the next guy? And we saw it there with that great strike, but Sarcona was ready for that opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm watching Leon off camera right now, and he looks to be a little frustrated because he's not playing the style in the game that he normally plays. You know, when he was running through AB3 all season, it seems like everything he's doing is getting shut down now. When you're a player who's incredibly successful and you can't do the things that you want to do, it leads to frustration. So he needs to just go back and just take a breath and just go find the space. And I've been saying for years, you want to be the best player in Nassau County, master a 10-yard pass. That's all you got to do.
Turn on the ball. Here's Leon now attacking space. Leon lays it off. Steinberg in the box. Steinberg back post. A little bit too much mustard on that cross. It will go out for a throw-in. Right. We're seeing a little bit, right, Brian? Some urgency here from Friends to start the second half.
Yeah, and the more that clock ticks down with the score of 1-0, the more the anxiety will go up, and they have to stay within themselves, right? They have to keep finding feet. They have to keep communicating. They can't let these frustrations build. But that was a great combination, and if I'm the coaches and for Friends Academy, I'd say, hey, more of that. Just keep going. Just keep doing more of that. You'll be fine. Right, put a guy, play a little bit wider on that back post.
Deep throw for Friends. That ball was clipped into the box, or attempted to be, but the offside flag was raised. Again, our officials for this one, Matt Sether is in the middle. Dave Poley, Eric Smith are your 2 ARs, and Steve Hansman is your 4th official. Friends Academy, 11-4-1. They are the number 4 seed. They went to overtime, beating North Shore. Then they beat Locust Valley. A couple of North Shore, Nassau County derbies out of those two, and now they're taking on the defending champs, as we'll have a stoppage of the clock for an injured Friends Academy player down on the field right now. And Floral Park, a team that 14-1-3, the number 2 seed. Friends Academy head coach, we mentioned before, Edgar Posada in his 7th season. 1988 graduate of Great Neck North, a guy who is the 12th grade assistant dean of students as well. On the other side, you brought out all the accolades and the CV, if you will, of Akil Rodney. I'm going to add to that a little bit for Floral Park's head coach. How about 74 goals and 52 assists out of Elmont as a high school American? That's why you're the cover boy, right? And then went on and won at Virginia, helped the Cavaliers to the 2009 National Championship, played for the US U20s as well before that back surgery kind of derailed his playing career, but off to an outstanding start in his 6th year now of his coaching career at Floral Park.
We kind of make a fun little joke in our coaching circles that there's AP level coaches, honors level coaches, and Regents level coaches. Coach Rodney's an AP level coach.
Yeah.
By far. No doubt.
We'll have a throw here for Friends Academy. Dylan Price plays the feet. Gets the return pass, tries to put it up high in the air, and it will go out over touch, out of touch for a throw in for Floral Park.
That was a nice little battle right there with Joseph Donovan. Keeping it clean, but battling for the ball. You like seeing that.
There's McCarron. Pointing down towards the other side of the field, so he's telling his guys, I'm going to get this one deep.
And we're no stranger to long throws on this field the last couple of nights.
It was a battle of it in the Class B final, right? As McCarron spins it deep, flicked on. And did he step over?
He must have. Eric Smith on the side, the side AR is called for a foul. Yeah, he must either stepped over or lifted his back foot.
In the Class B final last night, it went to PKs and Carl Place, continuing their dynasty.
8 in a row for the Froggies. Ribbit, ribbit.
Beating Cold Spring Harbor.
The lily pad was hopping this morning at the Carl Place Diner.
And then at the Know It Well And the nightcap last night, what a battle that was. It was Herrick's winning their first county title in 20 years. Nobody on the Herrick's team even alive at that point, as the Highlanders defeated Syosset convincingly as well, 3-0.
They were my dark horse team, and what an inspiring story they were. I mean, they had one win as a team last year, and that was their first win since our COVID season.
Leon, let's it go, Leon! Oh, man, Sarcona, I don't know if he read that well or was stuck there, but that didn't miss that far post by much.
No, that was a nice rip out of him, and, having a rip like that out of him, now all of a sudden Floral Park's like, hey, wait a minute, we got to get a little tighter on that defense on him, and now it's going to start shifting guys around a little bit.
A couple guys tangled up there in the midfield. Foul against Friends. So a free kick for Floral Park. These final four, these four finals, I should say, have featured three teams, as Donovan trying to chase this one on. There's Ryder Marcus, their second half goalkeeper for Friends, but three reigning state champions. Carl Place was one, and they're moving on to the Long Island Championship game, and Floral Park the second, and then Garden City the third.
And what a great weekend that was last year, going up there and watching all these teams represent. And the fact that we had three Section 8 teams up there last year was such a great representation for Nassau County, and what a statement it made for us.
Here comes Leon now. Leon gets to the Steinberg. What do we got? Foul on Leon.
Yeah, he hooked the arm and pulled him down there. Great defense, though, by Akash Dashi, sticking with him and, not falling for the spin move. And Leon just got him hooked up and yanked him down. And the student section is out here saying you can't do that.
Friends throw, but first they'll make a change. Big slide tackle one, and now Friends. Nice ball over the top. There's Martinez Sierra. Takes a touch. Martinez Sierra! 1-1.
And that's goal number 8 on the season for Mr. Martinez Sierra, right? Drags back to the middle, finds that back post or near post. Great shot out of him. I love the composure out of S.J. Martinez Sierra to keep everything in there. And now we got a brand new ball game here for the last 31.
Game on.
Game on, baby.
I'll tell you, we have been treated to some outstanding goals. What a goal by Martinez Sierra. And I think, I don't know about you, Brian, I was like, all right, so he's going to try to play it back, look for Steinberg, maybe look for Leon. He's like, no, I am going for goal here.
I think everybody on Floral Park thought the same thing, right? And he had that space, and he just took it. And, that's probably something that Coach Posadas told him at halftime. If you have some daylight in that area, just take a shot. We got to make Zachary Sarcona work out there. Now, I promised myself I was going to try not to mention it at all this broadcast, but postseason goals are ineligible for the goal of the season contest we run on our Instagram page. But we've seen two pretty goals out here today that both probably could have won the contest this year.
Maybe have two of the contests, have the postseason version as well. There's Steinberg and Dashi. What a battle that is. Steinberg turns. Steinberg, the cross in front. It's loose. It's entangled in a couple of Floral Park defenders' feet. Man, have these tides now turned in favor of the Quakers. This one sent high into the air and out. I think you've kept some numbers, right, of first half versus second half and goals scored. And
yeah, and for both of these teams, they have let in more second half goals, but they've also scored more second half goals. So they are both second half teams, and, you know, it's crazy to see, like, after that goal, the energy level here, not really crazy, you would expect it, but the energy level has gone up so much here in this stadium, and you can see it in the players. I think they're now feeding off of it because the pace has quickened, the touches have quickened, the feet have quickened. Everything has gone up here. We've all raised the level on this field.
Ball played by Hernandez, and here's your goal scorer. Now a layoff. Ball served over. We'll have a corner for Friends. Now, I did say in our conversation, as you see some of the crowd here getting big, I said, you know, we were saying on the broadcast, you know, why not have Manu go up there? And the difference was it was Jovis who was the guy coming up, and Manu staying pat in his spot in the back. They'll play it short to Leon's feet. He will turn, serves a good ball. It'll bounce in the box, and then a foul was called against Friends.
And that's something they love to do, right? Get the ball to the playmaker and let the playmaker make some plays.
Here's McCarron to put the ball back into play for Floral Park. Scored the goal that helped get the Knights back into the county final. Nice turn. I think a handball was called first. Or it'll be a throw, excuse me. Went out over the side, this near touch line. A sub first. Cherry will exit. Looks like Quinn has checked back in, which will get the Floral Park crowd back energized.
Yep. The Quinn family just got a little more energetic down there right in front of our broadcast position.
It was his goal in the first half, which was outrageous. First time strike. That put the Knights ahead, and now it's Martinez Sierra who leveled. And here is McCarron again. Another one of these long throw artists here in Nassau County. Puts a spin on it into the box. It takes a bounce and cleared. When you have so many guys, including this guy, Kroon, an important slide tackle, and now a corner for Floral Park. But when you have so many guys who are so good in the air, again, that makes these throw-ins even more dangerous. It'll be Amirati, always a threat from this corner flag. Amirati tries to go near post. Caden Sy was looking for it, and it will go out for a Friends throw.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate touch there from Amirati, you know, all alone. You know, I think he picked his head up too soon, touch out, and now we're going the other way.
Look at the defending right now by Friends. Challenging everything. McCarron.
Now you can play defensive style where you're swarming the way they are. You just have to make sure, though, that when you regain possession of the ball, you're pushing numbers forward.
That's what Friends is doing right now. Steinberg asks for it to be the feet. Tries to take a turn. And a good job coming up from behind by McCarron to clear. It's Dylan Price to put it back into play. Plays the feet, the service, chested down. Battle for it, and a foul called against Friends. That was James Demacia.
Yeah, I know he didn't like that call, but that was a pretty clear. You can't run through him like that. But I love the enthusiasm and the intensity. You know, these guys are getting after it.
Winner of this game will play for the Long Island Championship. That'll be November 5th, 7 o'clock at Harbor Fields High School. They will take on either Shoreham-Wading River or John Glenn. That final tomorrow morning at Walt Whitman High School. Donnie Braga in the stands, the first-year head coach for Shoreham-Wading River, former longtime head coach for Jericho High School. So he's doing some scouting for Shoreham. Ball served in. Sai got his head on it. And Brian, I don't know how much I've told you about it, as there's a foul, dangerous set piece, and I think with the clearance of the ball, we'll have our first booking of the match.
Yeah, it looks like Ammirati got clipped in the face.
But Donnie Braga and I, former classmates at St. John's, back when he was the goalkeeper there, and the team that won the national championship back in 1996. Former Syosset great. What a chance this is for Ammirati.
That's back when, was that back when they were the Red Men?
No, you
don't go back that far. I don't want to age it too much, Dylan.
I think my first year, I think my freshman year was the last year of the Redmen. As here's Ammirati. This can certainly put this one on frame from here. 3-man wall set up for Friends.
Free kick for Ammirati.
Ammirati right to Marcus. But in that final game, it was St. John's FIU. This might be the last time this ever happened, Brian. You had two Syosset goalkeepers in goal for either team. Braga on the one side, on the other side was Sal Fontana.
That's awesome.
Dangerous ball over the top, Marcus. And now, as you see the field a little bit, maybe a disadvantage, or not maybe, it is a disadvantage, right, for Marcus right now. He's got the sun in his face on this side.
Yeah, it's certainly a consideration out here. The sun, the wind.
Friends looking to possess, far sideline.
Correction on those saves, that was Ryder Marcus.
Throw in for Floral Park. But always good to see Donnie in the house. Also does a lot of training with goalkeepers.
And he's actually in the New York State record book, too, for most state titles won.
A foot race to this ball. Woo. Sliding challenge. Sethered in, like the look of that one. Well, a free kick for Floral Park.
And O'Shea's a little slow to get up. Looks like he'll be okay.
And a conversation now on the severity of that. All these officials have the headsets. They have the communication.
It's honestly that this is the first season I remember where I think they've had it in every game that I've been a part of this year. It's been a game changer for these officials, and I can tell you, having worked closely with Steve Hansman, who's our fourth official and the president of the Officials Association, and Steve Fedetz, who's vice president, they care about getting it right.
Ammirati, dangerous ball, looking for Kroon. Battled with Manu. Steinberg looking for it, and will have a throw for Friends.
And if I can give a shameless plug and not get in trouble for it, I hope, they are running another set of officials classes coming up this January. So if you're interested in becoming an official in Nassau County Soccer, check out their website. Go check out the Nassau Soccer Instagram for details. They run great classes. I'll be taking them.
Oh, okay.
We'll be joining the ranks of the dark side.
So you can give Rob Anderson his next yellow card. Love it.
Well, I think for me, it'll just give a better understanding of the game, right? And maybe I can do this, do girls' games, do this when I'm not coaching.
Jovis slide tackle, and now another chance for McCarron's long throw. McCarron's like, back up, guys. I'm going long. Head in. What a save by Marcus! Loose ball. Quinn had a piece. Dashi! Marcus again. How, Brian, did he get A paw on that first one.
That was a huge save from Ryder Marcus.
Wow.
And again, another example of a swarming total team defensive effort to stop the second effort and get that ball out.
Battle for the loose ball far side. Another look, Brian, at that unbelievable save.
Yeah, he used every inch of that hand to stop that ball. And what a great move by Floral Park. Joseph Donovan getting ahead on the ball there to try and find that back corner, too. Got to give him all the credit in the world.
And then Quinn was right there, too, and got a touch in the box.
As we are halfway through the second half of this game.
As we said, it's a little bit unconventional to go with 2 goalkeepers, but you know what? Champagne problems, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Slide tackle by Dashi, and now the tackle's flying in, the intensity ramping up. We're inside the final 20 minutes of regulation time. Leon plays it, wants the return pass, does get it. Leon, the touch goes down, and that'll be a foul. And that's a little sneak peek into some of the brilliance that Dylan Leon brings.
It is, and I think he's arguing, not arguing, having a polite conversation with Matt Sether, asking, hey, how come that wasn't a card? And I think he has, he's making the case. You know why it wasn't a card?
We ask that you would please stay.
Because the referee didn't give him one. So I tell my kids all the time, it's not a foul if the ref doesn't blow his whistle.
Leon drives it through traffic and out.
Listen, I don't hate the attempt. He put a good move on the ball. You know, that low driver out there, make the keeper dive out. And
if there's anyone you're going to give the green light to, it'll be Dylan Leon.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that can happen there as well, right? And with a maze of bodies all around there, that ball could take a deflection, could knock around. You never know.
Yeah, you knock that ball out for corner, and you know, Friends Academy is very good at set pieces.
O'Shea. And now here comes Friends. Again, locate Leon's feet. He connects. Nice ball to Hernandez.
Right, that little back pass was just beautiful, great timing on it. But it's that, like we've been talking the whole day, it's that third pass.
Nice turn. This is your goal scorer, Martinez Sierra, with the equalizer in the second half here for Friends. Finds Leon. Leon angles his turn. Leon! Golazo! 2-1, Friends.
Huge goal by the superstar, Dylan Leon. Right, there's that little bit of space, and what a great move he puts on that ball. Starts it up the middle, curves it into the left corner. Gorgeous goal from the captain.
And what did Edgar Posada say to us, right? We talked about what Rodney said about Quinn. He said the number one key, right? We need a Dylan Leon takeover. And in the biggest moment of the game here, Leon has done just that to give Friends Academy the 2-1 lead.
And you got to think his brother Jeremy, the JV coach, is on the sidelines loving the look of that.
Sister Denitza as well played at Friends. It's part of that heritage, that family heritage. Now a chance in the box. Samarati unable to get it out of his feet and cleared by Manu.
You know, and as coaches, we come down and we watch all these games. We stand on the sideline and we have these crazy conversations. And one of the ones is if you were starting a team from scratch and you could draft any player in the county with your first pick, you'd be hard-pressed not to have Dylan Leon in the conversation with the #1 overall pick.
50-50 challenge. Looked to be a handball. Still, though, Marcus had to make a save. think Floral Park got away with one there. The ball bounced up to O'Shea. Looked like it did hit him off the hand. But then the soccer gods kind of evened that one out. Doshi over the top. It was Liam Quinn in the first half with a tremendous goal. That gave Floral Park the lead, and since 2 goals in the second half by Friends.
And all 3 goals are like Sports Center top 10 highlight goals. They're not little tiny tap-ins, little junk goals where, you know, it's a Mighty Ducks clean up the garbage situation. They're all just rockets off the foot of these kids today.
There's Steinberg. Smart soccer IQ playing it off Doshi for a throw. Nice turn. Now trying to combine. Ball knocked around in the midfield. And just sent down. McCarron, look out. Foot race for it. A diving challenge. Needed to do so. Martinez Sierra, though, still comes up with it. Martinez Sierra, no! What a chance for Martinez Sierra to get his second. While Floral Park is your defending champion, Friends Academy, as we mentioned before, looking to win their first county title since 2013. And I think what you'll love, too, about them, Brian, right now is they are hungry. They want more. They're not satisfied with the 2-1 right now as they continue to press for more. Look at Martinez Sierra. Right out of EA. Steinberg. Blocked. Second chance. Blocked again.
No, that's a feature of this team when they're not happy with 6-0. They want goals, 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 goals.
O'Shea plays out to space, trying to find Quinn. Headed clear. I don't know, man. I think buckle up, man. We're going to have an unbelievable final 14 minutes here.
No, this game is far from over.
Yeah.
Far from over.
Ryder Marcus has had to make some terrific saves. The offside flag has been raised.
No, and to steal another English term as the English teacher, Floral Park is not about to go silently into that good night. I know they are going to fight, and they're going to throw everything they have at this team.
What's their championship pedigree?
Absolutely.
Right?
Free kick for the Knights, number 22.
Here's McCarron. And again, you see like a line of players. Before it was Manu who kind of backed up. And then looking for Kroon. That's a big clearance by Jovens.
Yeah, Kroon had a couple steps on him.
Here comes Donovan. Friends, though, wins the ball back. Look at this. Steinberg now. It's Lally who comes away with it. Plays it on the ground, but it stays with Friends Academy. That was Luka Kraska, number 19. Here's Leon. Steinberg. Friends crowd rises to their feet. Steinberg, an important clearance at the near post.
Yeah, he had acres of space there down on that wing. You can't leave someone like Steinberg that unmarked, especially right now.
Ball over the top. Look at the communication, right? What did Manu do? Told Ryder Marcus, come off your line. This is your ball. In Manu, you've got a 2-year captain as well. Posada says he is our big man in the back. And a large human he is.
Yeah, he is a big boy.
Steinberg gets the inside track on Dashi. Takes a touch. Now it's Sarcona to come off his line.
Nice shield there by Dashi, too.
Sarcona up to midfield. There he is, Manu. Amirati the turn, pushes it up the field. Unable, though, to track that down was Joe Donovan.
Right, and now Floral Park, now we spoke about this probably an hour ago. The anxiety is going to start to go up now for Floral Park. They just have to breathe, stay in the game, don't rush things, and make the most of every touch that they have. Because if you think about it, that ball went out at 11:40, and now we're almost a minute later. It's now clock wasting time for Friends Academy, right? Let this clock run as much as we can. So for Floral Park, you have to make the most of every touch.
And with soccer savvy, which Friends has in bunches, also comes the ability to go dark arts on you. Here is O'Shea. Marcus the save. The rebound pops loose. Quinn looking for it. And Marcus corrals.
That was a dangerous possession from Floral Park. What a great shot there, and Quinn being in the right spot for that shot, and all the credit there to the Friends Academy defense from shutting him down.
And by dark arts, I mean, yeah, all those time-wasting situations, the 4 different players. No, it's my throw, it's your throw, it's your throw. Marcus slow off his line. Now he comes off. But it's Jovis again. That security blanket in the back. Friends could use the width of the field here, especially this side. Ball played over the top. Lally calls for Sarcona to come off his line as Martinez Sierra was chasing it down. Sarcona sends it high into the air. Manu won that header. Second ball sent in by Lally over the top. Loose ball, and there's Marcus again, as he had Donovan coming in close.
I think Donovan he's got his hands up. I think he felt like he got a little tied up there. He certainly had the position in the space.
There's Steinberg. Kroon, slide tackle, throw in for Friends. Inside the final 9 minutes. Friends rallying from a 1-goal deficit at the half. We said it right away at the start of the second half. The intensity was ramped up for Friends, and they have scored twice. Play to feet. Ambitious effort, that one, and goes over. Carlos Hernandez with the shot.
Now, I haven't done a deep statistical analysis on this one, Dylan.
Okay.
But just as a casual observer and someone who's been at every game here, this side of the field that Friends is attacking is the side that everybody's won on. Syosset beat Oceanside on this field. Carl Place beat Oyster Bay on this field. Last night, Herrick's beat Syosset on this side of the field. All the winning has come from this side of the field that Friends Academy is attacking right now. I think the outlier is
Syosset didn't win this way?
Syosset won this way.
Okay.
Yep.
Free kick for the Knights. Number 6, Sam Amirati.
Free kick, Floral Park. Headed clear by Manu. Well, Herrick certainly did. We knew that from last night. Nice ball. Actually, Leon, it might have been better served to let it go through to Martinez Sierra. Here is Leon. The explosion. Leon. Through traffic. Finds Steinberg in the box. Steinberg, not much of an angle, just plays it across the face of goal and cleared out.
Yeah, if they have somebody on the end of that ball, that's game, set, match, I think.
Manu, an important step. But now he's got to go back. Look at this. McCarron tries to clip it into the box, trying to find O'Shea, but it's a corner.
And that's
Floral Park.
And that's one of those things we talked about being in the right place and finding that space. McCarron was all alone on that run, and he had daylight in front of him.
Amirati to take.
Number 12, Caden Sy will check in.
Big moment here for Floral Park. Another great ball. Headed in! And we are level. Joe Donovan.
Huge goal from the Knights.
What a ball from Ammirati. Picture perfect. And then Donovan heads in his 9th of the year.
That ball was perfectly placed, and Joseph Donovan made a perfect run on that near post, and he was unmarked by the Friends Academy defense. And we've said this once before, game on.
Oh. We've had so many 1-0s now. 2-2. It's a barn burner here at Farmingdale State. Now the Floral Park crowd getting loud. Chance of let's go Knights. Now the Friends crowd gets loud as well.
And the booth is rocking right now.
Yeah, literally. Ball served in. Manu the header. Second ball, though, goes to Floral Park. Clipped in by Black. The offside flag is up as O'Shea ran on to the end of that one.
And that play that Coach Rodney has set up with that straight line of guys, it's great because you can get that ball over the top and you can find space, but the danger is it's very easy to get caught offside.
Black wins the ball. Here's Steinberg. He and Dashi, man, what a battle that's been all game long. So Steinberg will leave the ball. Inside the final 5 minutes. Dylan Price. Looking for Leon. Leon looking for the foul. None given. Caden Sai. Manu. Good communication as Lally won that one. The ball just sent high into the air. Ryder Marcus called off Manu. One thing I do not see right now is McCarron on the field.
No, and we spoke about this a couple of coaches.
Here he comes now.
Yeah. You know, Akil Rodney is not afraid to use his bench. You know, a lot of coaches will ride their starters to the end of the game. He is not afraid to use, you know, guy number 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, where a lot of guys only have 1 or 2 subs they rotate in. He has a deep bench, and he'll use it.
And those guys have been impactful, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's very much a next man up mentality, and go in there and do your job for these Knights.
Quinn was one of those guys. Caden Sai started for a good portion of the season when O'Shea was injured. Cherry up the sideline. Ammirati goes long. It's O'Shea who races onto it. Did he win the corner? No, it'll be a goal kick.
Goal kick coming up for Friends Academy with about 3 minutes left.
In the semifinals, it was Friends and Locust Valley at this point of the game tied 0-0, and then Steinberg scores the winner with 2:02 left. Over the top, Leon rolls it wide.
He had some space. I think he was probably seeing game winner in my mind. He probably could have taken another couple touches to get himself settled here. Here's a replay. Yeah, he probably could have taken another touch or two to get himself settled.
Or even win that free kick, right?
Absolutely.
Here's O'Shea.
He probably had an autograph signing session in his head in second period Spanish class tomorrow.
Oh, rolls just wide. Ammirati inches close. and it will take a deflection for a corner. And this was the situation Floral Park had when they had the equalizing goal.
Oh, great shot on frame from Ammirati right there. Let's see what he can cook up here. We'll go near post again.
Yeah, last time it was Donovan.
Well, they're set up back post, but they get very tricky here on these run-ins.
Ammirati goes back, stick, and then it's headed out. Looked like that was McCarron who got his head.
He was right there, too. Timing was just a touch off.
There's Manu. Driven ball to midfield. Steinberg flicks it on. There's Leon. Leon plays to turf. An important intervention there because it was Martinez Sierra looking to get on the end of it. There is Donovan. He scored your equalizing goal. Throw in for Floral Park. They're looking to go quick. And Dashi will leave it for McCarron as we're inside the final minute of regulation time. Hernandez out to midfield, return to sender by Lally. Here's Ammirati. Donovan. Deflection. Ooh, kind of twisted around there in the box. Here's Steinberg, plays it back to Leon. Leon will attack his space. Kroon tracking him. Dylan Leon with 20 seconds left. On the turf. 15 seconds left. There's an opportunity maybe for one more here. Martinez Sierra. Denied by Kroon. Manu sends it up to the sideline. And we will have overtime here to decide the Class A championship game. But what goals we've seen here, right? First, Martinez Sierra. He's got the equalizer. That was the 1-1. And then Dylan Leon's like, I see that goal, and I will raise you one, as well as his maybe as good, if not better. Look at that shot from distance inside the far post. And now advantage, right, for Friends Academy. They've got the 2-1 lead. But then right off the training ground, Ammirati, flicked in header. Donovan, we are tied at 2. Overtime coming up next right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
As a look at some of the foliage out here, and Brian Donahue, this has become a fall classic between Friends Academy, Floral Park, tied 2-2. Here heading to overtime of this, the Nassau Class A final.
One of our many overtime games this postseason, and you know these two teams have been battling it out here. Great contest. You know, this is certainly rising to one of our top 3 or 4 best postseason games this postseason.
We spoke with both. We didn't get a chance to say this before the start of the game, but listen, a great chance to say it here because there is an additional huddle. But we spoke with both coaches about what the message before kickoff would have been, right? For Friends, the message is, listen, you guys can do this. Just play your game. Don't be intimidated by anything. The pressure is never on us this season. He said it is on Floral Park. Posada said no one likes to lose against us. And for Akil Rodney, his message is to, in fact, focus on us, meaning Floral Park. He said, focus on the details. It's something he says he tells these guys before every game. Something he's always said is let's not make the moment bigger than it is. He says, I believe focusing on details and on your job allows them to have simple minds and allows them to play fast. Focus on your job and trust that the guy next to you will do the same. And part of that job and part of the focus is to always be the hardest working team out there.
Now, for those of you that are not familiar with postseason rules, it is 2 15-minute golden goal periods. So next goal wins. So if someone scores and they are running to the bleachers because they have won this game and it's over. We're not playing the full 15 if somebody scores. And after that, if there's no score, we're going to the skills competition, the PKs, like we saw last night with Carl Place.
And this is not something unfamiliar for Friends. In the quarterfinals, they beat North Shore in overtime, and it was Martinez Sierra with the golden goal for the Quakers. If a winner is not scored in these opening 15 minutes, the two teams will switch sides and play that additional 15 minutes. Dangerous ball played. Amarati, big slide tackle. It'll be a throw-in for Floral Park. Great job there by Dylan Price. So not McCarron. Oh, sorry. I was going to say not McCarron to take it, but here he comes sprinting in. That's a dangerous one for Floral Park.
Throwing for the Knights, number 22, Charles McCarron.
Saavedra at the back post. Oh, McCarron will have to restart. Sends it into the box. It's loose and goes clear. Marrero clips it in. Ryder Marcus grabs it with both arms.
Roll it out, start your break. Now push numbers.
Martinez Sierra sends it long, an angled ball, a dangerous one. Steinberg, nothing malicious there, and you see some great sportsmanship too as Steinberg just kind of clattered over Donovan and then picked up Joe Donovan as well. Black over the top. Now McCarron being a center forward. You know what he's done? He's earned himself a corner.
Great work on McCarron, and he's been pushing up more and more lately, moving out of that center back spot, you know, showing his versatility. He's got 7 assists on the season. You know, he's a guy who can really get involved in the offense out here.
And he's a guy who can get on the end of these Ammirati corners as well. He did so in the semifinal at the back post in that 1-0 win. Ammirati sends it in the air. Oh, it's parried over by Ryder Marcus. And then a foul called as Marcus sent back deep into his own net. And Sether making sure.
He's saying, yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. Let's go keep playing. Rub a little dirt on it. I'm all right.
Free kick for Friends.
Free kick for the Quakers.
Ball sent to midfield. Martinez Sierra battled for it. Still up in the air. We do see in this overtime session another one of the deep bench, right, for Floral Park. Christian Saavedra in as well, number 21. Almaderis Montez, it'll go out for a throw. And if Leon is going to take this, you got to think it's, hey, let's get it back to my feet. Martinez Sierra posting up. Plays the feet. Now Leon. Big challenge. Still gets the ball back. Here comes Dylan Leon into space. Leon goes far post trying to find Steinberg. And now we come the other way.
And that's the kind of explosiveness he has. You know, he wasn't really involved. He was kind of just hanging back on the edge of the play there. And he kind of was like, I'm going to watch for a little while. And all of a sudden he gets the ball, boom. He's off of the other way, and he's sending that ball into the back corner.
And that's the you mentioned it, and I think it's a great comparison. That's the Messi factor as well, right? Where so often, and you hear it, and it's crazy to criticize the GOAT, right? But the people are like, oh, look at him just walking on the field. What is he doing? He's not, like, he knows the times to run and to sprint and conserve his energy and always finds a way to show up in the big spots. Here's an important throw-in now for McCarron. Some more subs now. Saavedra checks out. The mighty Quinn back in. He got the goal scoring started this afternoon.
He scores the game winner here. They're going to put a statue up to him in the front of that building.
Here's McCarron with the throw. Settle down. Donovan bounced wide. Joe Donovan scored the 2-2 goal. As we are seeing a lot of subs right now for Floral Park, and this is what you were mentioning, right? You want fresh legs, even if it's just for bursts, almost like a hockey change. Get off, get some water, come back on.
And you've been at all of these semifinal games and the final games here, and one of the things that we keep seeing on this field is a lot of these guys, they cramp up late in these games. And if you can give these guys, like you said, a 2-minute break, 3-minute break, get hydrated, you know, get right back on the field. Talking to the Wheatley coach last night, Manny Morale, you know, we were on the field hanging out last night, and he was saying that what he does is he brings a bag of candy. He said when he played, he didn't drink water. He ate candy, his teammates ate candy, and that gave him more of an energy burst than drinking water. I think I might have to steal that from him next year.
Let's go to Costco, get that big size before the Halloween season. What I think it also does is for your players, as the offside flag is raised, it also gives the coaches and Rodney a chance maybe to go and talk to the player who comes off and who's going to come back on, and you get that one-on-one coaching experience from the sideline.
Yeah, but you don't want to bring out the players like a Dylan Leon, right? You want to leave him out there and ride the lightning that whole game. Just leave him in there and just go with him.
And that person that came off right now, that was McCarron. So it's Dashi far side, throw in for Friends. midway through this first overtime session. It's the Class A championship game. We had overtime last night, and then it went to PKs as Carl Place ousted Cold Spring Harbor. There is Leon. Leon, dangerous ball. Martinez Sierra trying to make that turn in the box. Tracks down this loose ball now. Marrero on his back. Martinez Sierra lays the ball off. Great hustle by O'Shea. Back to Martinez Sierra. Trying to shed that physicality by Marrero. What a great job defending. And then Lally clears it out to midfield, but not out. Hernandez is there.
And then who was in there to disrupt? Our boy Liam Quinn.
And that one sent high into the air. Martinez Sierra does battle for it, but he is called for the foul. Marrero showing you why Rodney said he should be an impact player here tonight. Or today, as kind of day turning into night. Public service announcement, perhaps, for those watching at home. That's you move your clocks back tonight. For Floral Park, they're trying to turn the clock back to last year and win another county championship. But here's Leon, the explosion into the box. Still with friends. Here is Quinn. And he's won a throw. Marrero to Quinn. We go the other way. Zuniga fires it high into the air, looking for Steinberg. And then Sarcona is there.
Right, and that's just a basic soccer play, right? Up, back, through.
I do like that Friends is switching things up, right? And showing different angles and ways to try to score the goal. Oh, dangerous here. Marcus off his line. Ooh, somehow he grabs that ball. Marcus, a deep punt. Steinberg trying to race onto it. How many miles do you think Steinberg has run in this game?
Right, but back to that play where, Ryder Marcus just got on that ball. One thing I would say, and, we have a player down, and sometimes when these players go down, it's a quick chance to just talk to your team, pull them to the sideline, give them a little quick coaching. They can't come off the sideline. You give them a quick little piece of coaching. What I'd say to Ryder Marcus is, hey, don't lay on that ball. Grab it, get it up, transition out.
A reminder coming up, maybe not exactly at 6:30, but perhaps later than that, Calhoun and Garden City to compete for the Nassau Class AA final right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network. And again, I want to thank our sponsors, Orlin and Cohen and Lifestyle Sports, and especially Orlin and Cohen, allowing us to show you this game and all of Nassau County's semifinals and finals free here on our YouTube channel. So big thanks again to Orlin and Cohen for all they do.
Right, and Dylan, you brought up a good point. The deeper we go into this overtime session, you still have to remember we have to do the trophy presentation, pictures in the net, and all of that administrative stuff, the celebration stuff, that could play a factor in interrupting a team's warm-up. And when we were down here on the sideline before in the last game when Southside was up, talking to the coach, he was very concerned about, hey, I have a very second-by-second, minute-by-minute warm-up plan. If they let him push that warm-up and say, hey, you were going to have your full X number of minute, 30-minute warm-up, great. Or are they going to say, hey, we're starting this game at 6:30 no matter what?
Well, the good thing what they had here, too, is they have so much space behind this field that I know in the earlier games, their teams were warming up in the softball field. There's grass behind us as well, so an opportunity to get your team together and still get them, to get the sweat going and to get a little warmed up there.
Right, you can start your laps over there, do your dynamic warm-ups, your stretching, get all that done. Then when you come out here, you can start doing all your technical warm-up
All right, so we will restart now. Friends looking to attack. And they will win a throw-in.
Throw-in by the Quakers.
Remind you, too, to stick around for that post game. We'll bring you the trophy presentation as well as an interview with the man of the match. Rob Anderson will handle that for us. What Brian Donahue did last night was, in addition to his Instagram responsibilities, being the content creator and influencer that he is, also not only did the interview for us, but then also somehow found like a squeegee or like a broom or something to get the ice off the field to allow the AAA final to be played. Here's Sierra Martinez, or Martinez Sierra, excuse me, in the corner. Trying to find Steinberg. And now Floral Park clears.
Just for Friends right now, just try and maintain possession as long as you can, right? Try and get a number of good looks.
And some opportunities now, as it is Quinn. Quinn plays the fleet to feet, O'Shea trying to get one right back to him. Here comes Manu. Throw in for Friends.
I like that run up there by Manu.
Martinez Sierra. Plays behind. Steinberg! What a denial! A championship saving tackle by Akash Dashi. Steinberg right now at the edge of the 18, like, how did I not get that goal?
Yeah, that's a head scratcher, but all the credit in the world to Dashi stepping up in a big moment.
Here's Leon. Talk about stepping up in a big moment. Leon, driven, headed clear. Throw in for Friends.
Right, and this is a ball they like to play short into the corner. Let's see if they do it. Unless they're going to go deep. No, playing right in the middle.
There's the driven ball. Leon wasn't quite there. There's McCarron back on. Clips it forward. Field a bit slanted here in the closing moments of our first overtime session. Throw in for Floral Park.
Throw in for the Knights. There is a substitution for Floral Park.
Now McCarron off. You do wonder if it is something right now for McCarron, if he's dealing with something over there. Back on again for Floral Park, Saavedra. Battle in the midfield. Manu clips it forward. Here's Steinberg trying to race onto it. Donovan the denial. Leon serves it. Martinez Sierra. That was going to be on frame.
Yeah.
Chested clear.
Just didn't have enough on it.
Final 8 seconds. Saavedra.
Huge defensive effort right there at the end of that first overtime period.
And we will head to a second overtime period. Nassau Class A final up for grabs. Friends and Floral Park tied at 2. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite VIII New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now,
back here at Farmingdale State College, Dylan Butler, Brian Donahue, our entire Varsity Media crew, as we are getting set for the start of the second 15-minute overtime period. And obviously you don't get like a half a goal for possession or chances, but in that first 15, so many chances there for Friends.
No, you have to feel good about it if you're Coach Posadas and Coach Fish and the rest of Quaker Nation. They're putting their foot on the gas, and they certainly looked the better team in that first 15. See if they can come out and keep the pressure going. They appeared to look like they liked going this way, the way they're set up at the end of the second half of regulation. We'll see what kind of adjustments Coach Rodney can cook up here to kind of salvage a season, so to speak, because they are certainly playing on the back foot right now.
Again, winner advances to the Long Island Championship. That'll be played November 5th, 7 o'clock at Harbor Fields High School, Shoreham Wading River. Or John Glenn, the opponent. Hard challenge in the midfield as McCarron went right through Carlos Hernandez.
That's a center back playing as a forward right there. I think he forgot where he was on the field.
So free kick from midfield.
Free kick for the Quakers.
Hernandez looking for Steinberg's head. He does get a piece. Now it's a battle for it, and Leon tracks it down. Leon, and they'll look to possess now. Dylan Price. Leon awaits the ball, gets it. Here he comes, Dylan Leon. Looking to set something up, goes far side. Martinez Sierra tripped up, and a free kick here for Friends.
That's a dangerous spot, and look at how fired up he is. S.J. Martinez Sierra, he knew he drew a great foul, dangerous position. About 25 yards.
Leon is there, Hernandez as well, but I don't think Dylan Leon wants to hear anything from anybody right now.
No, he is. There is no doubt about this. He's taking the shot. He's putting this on frame, and he's going to look to bend this ball around the right-hand side of this wall.
Wall is set up at the edge of the 18. So 10 yards. Let's make it a 28-yard attempt. Leon, what a save! Sarcona! Corner for Friends.
Huge save out of Zach Sarcona. Big stretch. Just getting that big fist on it there, knocking that ball over the top to deny the game winner to Dylan Leon.
Now a chance on the corner. Carlos Hernandez. Puts in the air, headed. Hernandez, big block. Dashi just laid out his body. Another corner for Friends. Leon comes over, and obviously you've got to respect him and the possibility of something short. So Quinn makes sure that he's in that vicinity. They do go short. Here's Leon. Quinn defending him. Clipped his service, back post. Ooh, that was a first-time strike. Throw in for Floral Park. We'll have a stoppage of the clock here. Not sure what Matt Sether has here. He does have his hand up. In the professional game, that means you're talking to your VAR. That's not the case here in Nassau County just yet.
No, but they're having a conversation, the three officials.
So I wonder, was it something over at the sideline? Right, you see Hansman and Sether comes away from that conversation. What do we got?
Nope, ball's going the other way.
So, yeah, it was just a decision on where it is. And you know what? You like that.
Absolutely. You get it right. And this is something that talking to Steve Pedetz, Vice President of the Official Association, they want to get things right. So stop the clock, take the extra 15, 20 seconds, get it right.
McCarron, the center forward, loses it. And now there's Leon. So dangerous every time he touches the ball. Let's go Friends chant coming up from our right, which will now mean that the Floral Park crowd will get going.
And Lady Momentum is certainly sitting on that bench with the Friends Academy Quakers. It is, overtime has been controlled by them the whole way.
More subs from Rodney. 2 come on, 2 come off. As O'Shea, one of those who returns to the game. I don't think anyone has absolute fresh legs, but again, you just want to make it as fresh as you can. Steinberg plays to feet. Now he goes into space. Steinberg turns. The Friends crowd gets big on their feet. Steinberg shields, plays it back. How about that defending? James Black. The mighty Quinn. Here he comes. Liam Quinn. Second ball won by Sai in the midfield. Ball played into space. Lally settles and plays the midfield. With what we're seeing here today, Brian, it would be an absolute shame if this one gets decided on PKs. You want a winner on the field.
Absolutely. You definitely do not want this to go to the skills competition. You want to win it on the field right now, sometime in the next 9 minutes.
Right now, though, it's Friends asking all the questions. Ball bounces and cleared to midfield. Driven ball, looking for Steinberg, and there is Sarcona. It was his unbelievable save that has kept this game going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball takes a bounce. And now a little bit of a foot race. Quinn chases after it. The ball sent almost into the crowd here.
And I could hear both coaches at halftime of the overtime talking to their team saying, this is why we do all this fitness in the dog days of August, so your legs are ready for this moment. Let your adrenaline take over and just go.
Kroon, good service. Second ball, it's cleared, but just momentarily. Black puts it back into the mixer. Here's Amirati. An unbelievable touch on the ball. Gets great service as well. But that service right there was choked out. Throw in for Floral Park.
And here comes the big guy.
Number 22, Charles McCarron checks in.
He checks in for this throw.
The big guy comes off, and the young guy goes off, and the big guy comes on for this big throw here.
Here comes McCarron. Sends it in. Sai. What do we have? A corner. And now Amirati will jog over.
I got these young guys here in front of me from Floral Park. They're making the calls for me. I can hear them through the window. They're on it. The future Floral Park Knights.
Well, Donovan scored off of this situation in this game. McCarron scored in the semifinals, both off of Amirati corners. Donovan was looking for it. Goes back out to Steinberg in midfield. Dashi chases after him. Slide tackle, winning the ball. Ball cleared to midfield. And Leon calling for another card, and there is one given. So hard challenge on that far side. Kroon is booked.
And that's going to be, and this is a situation where if I'm Edgar Posadas, I'm telling my guys, take advantage now. When you have who is one of the guys who's arguably the best player on the Floral Park team, a guy who has been there, who helped them win a state title last year. He's off the field until they can sub again. This is where you want to try and take advantage.
So the clock stopped with 6:59 left in overtime.
7 minutes left in the second golden goal period.
Free kick sent high into the air. Steinberg looking for it. Headed cleared. Second chance blocked. But now Steinberg runs onto it. Takes a touch. Steinberg save! Sarcona.
Both defenses in this game have been incredible.
Long ball over the top. There is Martinez Sierra trying to track it down. And the ball goes out over touch. It'll be a throw for Friends.
You know, and one of the guys who's really been putting in a lot of work this game, who has been just a stud on this field, is James Black for Floral Park. Putting in a lot of work here for the Knights.
There he is on cue.
Yep, kid can just play.
A lot of times those guys are in a thankless position, right, as the number 6. Center backs get a lot of attention. And look at this opportunity into the box. And cleared out. Corner for Friends. And a Friends player down on the end line. You mentioned the cramping.
Yep, go get him. Where I think I see the Mineola coach is sitting down here with Donnie Braga. See if he's got some candy in his pocket we can give him.
I've heard all kinds of different things. I've heard pickle juice. I've heard bananas. Again, reminder, program reminder, we'll have the AA final coming up after this. Certainly will not be a 6:30 start, but first we have a big corner here for Friends. In-swinger. Manu looking for it, ball loose! Important clearance by McCarron. Another service. Headed cleared, but only to the edge of the 18. Hernandez, slide tackle. Look at the tackles flying in for both of these teams. And now it's cleared out to midfield. Foot race is on.
We got the Floral Park quick strike right here.
Amirati trying to go back post. Now the game is stretched. Sent high into the air. Headed out. O'Shea, look out from behind. King Leon coming at you. Four and a half minutes remaining. Floral Park, the defending Class A state champions. Long ball over the top. Amarade! Ryder Marcus with the save.
This has been a goalie showcase here. It's unbelievable what we're seeing out of both of these keepers.
Throw in for Floral Park. The Knights, the number 2 seed, 14-1-3 on the season.
And now that ball's gone out in Floral Park's favor, guess who's coming back on the field? My man Brady Kroon. Back on the field. And you know he was chomping at the bit standing on that sideline.
And there's McCarron as well. So he'll get this throw deep from his own bench. Drives it in. Cleared out. Second ball, though, won by Friends. They'll look for something quick on the counter. There's Steinberg. Steinberg a touch. Steinberg in the box. Steinberg saves Sarcona! It's a Zach attack in goal. It doesn't get better in terms of a chance for Steinberg there.
In my career as a coach and in all the games I've ever seen, I've never seen two goalies put on a performance like I'm seeing here tonight.
Oof. Ball out of touch for a Friends throw. And to that point, I don't even know if you then can give an edge if we do go to PKs the way these two keepers are going. You talk about candy, it's going to be like a Snickers commercial, like not going anywhere anytime soon?
No, we could very well end up going to the 12th or 13th kicker.
Price looking for the return ball. There is Leon. Leon went off the head of Kroon. Battle for it on the far side. It's Friends' ball. Ball far post. Not bothering Sarcona. And another look. Brian Donahue at some brilliance by Sarcona.
What a great cutback on the inside around that defender. He had the game winner in his head, but this is like the play from Leon earlier in the second half. You know, take another couple of touches. You tuck that ball away in the corner. But, I mean, brilliant move out of Steinberg to get around that defender.
Final minute of overtime. Here is Steinberg. Finds Leon, looks to turn. Leon spins to his left. Leon sends it in. Oh, that's a tough clearance, man. Facing your own goal. Great job by Donovan. We will have a corner in the final 35 seconds. Hernandez to take, plays it short. Back to Leon. Leon in the box. Knocked out by Sarcona. Not clear though. Return ball, Sarcona, no problem.
Now as this game heads to penalty kicks, wouldn't it be fitting if one of these keepers wins it in the kicks? With a kick.
10 seconds left.
Ball sent to midfield. And like the Class B final, the Class A final will be decided via a penalty kick shootout.
To determine the winner of this game, we will have a penalty.
And here's the reason why.
Huge effort out of Sarcona. Big time save.
We head to penalties. It's the Nassau Class A final on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite VIII New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage.
And we welcome you back here to Farmingdale State College. Penalty kick shootout now to decide this Nassau Class A final.
And now, to be clear from everybody watching at home, they are going to be co-champions, co-Class A champions. The winner of this will advance to the Long Island Championship. So Friends Academy and Floral Park are Class A champions. Now we're just going to determine who moves on to face the Suffolk County Class A champion.
And it's Sam Ammirati first to take for Floral Park. Ammirati rolls it in 1-0. Floral Park. Always big to get that first one.
At the risk of being sued for copyright infringement, he's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Now the opposing number 6, Carlos Hernandez, to take. And is a change in goal here for Floral Park. We'll try to get that to you as that one by Hernandez goes in.
That's a field player that they put in goal for Floral Park.
So now stepping up, David O'Shea.
David O'Shea.
O'Shea takes his time, picks his spot, just past Marcus. Now here comes Steinberg. Steinberg.
This kick number 7, Jack Steinberg.
Finds its way into the net. We are tied at 2.
We're all tied up at 2 apiece.
So going to round number 3. As it's Kroon who steps up. And he finishes.
Great finish.
And that is Cy, Caden Cy, in goal for Floral Park. And he makes the save! Caden Cy.
Huge stop.
Denying Leon.
Wow.
Look at it again.
He had it read the whole way.
Now, I did see Leon at the end of the overtime period kind of limping.
Yeah.
You wonder how much he had left, not to take anything away from that save by Cy.
You know, sometimes guys just have a knack of reading them. It looks like Cy does.
Yeah, here's Joe Donovan. A chance to really extend Floral Park's advantage. Donovan, goal! And now Friends Academy, they need a goal here.
Yeah, this is a must hitter here.
And the taker is Jonathan Almaderis Montes. To keep Friends Academy alive here. Saved by Singh. Saved by Cy. And Floral Park, they survive and advance as they will win another county championship. Wow.
The Knights are keeping their crown with a huge save from Caden Cy.
Cy had the save, and then you saw the spin of the ball too, Brian, and then it stayed out.
Presence of mind to turn around and grab it and punt that out real quick. And the Knights retain the title, they keep their crown, and they are moving on in the state tournament.
For Floral Park, It's back-to-back county championships and their third in program history.
And the dynasty is on for Coach Akil Rodney in the Floral Park Knights.
Incredible stuff from Caden Sy. And I'll tell you, Akil Rodney, he knows what he's doing out there.
We talked about it, AP level coach, Akil Rodney.
So Floral Park, they are your Nassau Class A champions. We'll take a quick break and we'll bring you the awards presentation when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
Keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights. But how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Back here at Farmingdale State College, it is Floral Park victorious here in a PK shootout. Rob Anderson on the field with two of tonight's heroes.
Thank you, Dylan and Brian. I'm down on the field with the two goalkeepers, stars of the game. Floral Park going on to the big show again. Let's start with starting goalkeeper, Zach Sarcona. Zach, state champion. You made some big saves. How does this feel?
It feels great. I mean, to do it two years in a row, I mean, I just can't really express how I feel. And these boys played a hell of a game. and I'm glad I could do my part.
You always do your part. It's what your coach expects from you. What's going through your mind on those big saves? Game's over. How you feeling right now?
I feel great. I mean, honestly, just to make those saves, I feel like that's my job. I feel like I did my part. These boys did their part. There's nothing more I could do. And I came up with the saves. I mean, came out with the win.
You did come out with the saves and the win, and the guy that finishes it up, Caden Sy, making the big saves. Talk to us about the pressure you're under and how you do things.
There's no pressure at all. I mean, I trust my boys, and I trust in myself. So, no pressure. I knew we were going to win, though.
You knew you were going to win. Did you know you were going to get the call?
Of course.
And I heard your coach had some cliff notes on some of these guys. Why don't you tell us about Coach Rodney's preparation for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting going to Penn's, but, like, when we're there, Coach Rodney's always, like, he's always available. And he gives me the notes to go to the left. So, I mean, I give that save to Coach.
He gives that save to Coach. And right here, you got your state champions coming back, making another run. Zach Sarcone and Caden Sy, back up to you, boys.
Thanks so much, Rob, and what a moment there for Floral Park.
All right.
As they go back-to-back as Nassau Class A champions. Caden Sy coming in and being the closer in PK shootouts, making 2 saves in the shootout. And Sarcone, the big reason why they even got to a PK shootout, making some outstanding saves during 120 minutes of soccer.
Huge out of them. What a great performance out of those Floral Park Knights. Again, like we talked about, gritty, tough, grinded out performance out of those Knights today. And fair play, though, to Friends Academy. What a performance they put on today. Co-champions of Class A, Floral Park moving on to the state tournament.
Well, good luck in convincing them that they're co-champions right now as their season does come to an end. And what a battle and what a job Friends did. We mentioned before all of those county championships they won. Those were all in Class C. So they entered this not really knowing the competition. They were in A-B this year. Did a great job there. And they go on in 10 county championships, 4 Long Island championships, 3 New York State championships. It's a proud program there at Friends. And Edgar Posada's got a lot of conversations to have with his guys to kind of pump them back up as they get the trophy there. We will send it down to the field as we'll get the trophy presentation and the awards presentation to Floral Park.
And now your 2025 Section 8 champions, the Floral Park Knights! And now presenting the championship game ball to the Floral Park Knights. The Knights will move on to play the Suffolk County champion on Wednesday, November 5th at Harbor Fields High School at 7 p.m. in the Long Island Championship. Huge shout out to the head coach, Akil Rodney.
And what a moment there for Floral Park as they go back-to-back as Nassau Class A champions. What a moment. Congratulations to Akil Rodney and Floral Park on a classic win over Friends. That'll do it here from the Class A final for our entire Varsity Media crew. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin, for Jacob Semkin. Our technical director, for Kevin Catalanato, Jeff Damo. For Brian Donahue, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from the Class A final. We've got the AA final coming up momentarily here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.